Hello. I've been getting many emails lately, they're questions, and what I've done is I gathered the 9 most prominent ones, the 9 most important ones, and going to answer them all in one. The reason for this is because it is so simple that I'm sure that by the end of this talk, the knower in you will understand what maybe it never understood before. Now I'm going to ask you a question before we start, and the question is this: what is the most important thing in the world? No, not in the world, in life. What is the most important thing in life? We come up with many things, but let's make it very simple. The most important thing in life is knowing that you are life itself. And to realize that is simpler than you can conceive, because we always think about self-realization as if something is going to be bombastic and going to transform us in such a way that it is a very special event. It is not. It is understanding that you exist. And in fact, you are existence itself. And knowing that, understanding that is enough. So let's start with the first important question, and I've typed them this way. Okay. What is the strongest belief that we have? Well, the strongest belief that we have is that we believe we are a separate person. Whatever we do in everyday life convinces us of that. The television, radio, movies, our interaction with people, our own families, even religion itself tell us that we are a separate person. But now, I'm not asking you to believe something that is against your own accepted, conditioned belief, but I want you to look into your own heart, that you are life itself. And until you understand that, there can be no peace, no love, no joy, no fulfillment. It is not possible. Everything, wherever we look, is continually validating the fact that you're a separate person. And we carry this thought all the time that there is something missing. We don't feel good enough. And we're seeking all the time that which we are. But we do not realize we are seeking that which we truly are. So now we come to the second question, which is, what am I? This is very interesting. What are you? Are you the body that you carry? Oh, did you know that you've had 4 or 5, 6 bodies in this lifetime? Infant, child, teenager, young person, older person. They're all different bodies. Different conditioning, but it's always you. You're always changing, always evolving. But you're always aware of all the changes that are happening. So now we come to another question here, which is very simple. Number 3 is, am I the body-mind conditioning or creation? Well, look at it this way. You have a body. This body guides you all the time. We do not realize it. You know, we eat when the body tells us it's hungry. So we eat. When we eat, it digests the food, assimilates the food, It even eliminates what is not needed. It does it all. Even now as you listen, it is breathing you. You're not doing the breathing. You're listening to these words. It is your ears listening, you're hearing. Everything is being done through the body. So the body has more or less a function of its own. The brain neurons are firing, the cells are changing all the time. Circulation is taking place, your heart is beating. Are you doing any of it? No, of course not. And now, are you the mind? You know, when you get depressed, do you decide to get depressed? When negative thoughts overtake you and you become negative, did you decide to do that? Do you have control over your thoughts? And this is the interesting part. Are you the body? Well, how can you be? Because you say, my body. Well, who is it that is saying, my body? If you have a car, you say, my car. Are you the car? If you have a home, you say, it's my home. Are you the home? Similarly, are you my body? Are you my mind? Did you know that you are not the thinker? It happens to you through conditioned response to life, and we take that to be who we are. So now we come to this important question. Does everything just arise? Feel it out, please. Does everything just arise? You get up in the morning, you eat, you talk, you experience certain experiences. Who's doing this? One thing that I realized, and not so long ago either, during a conflicted relationship, and I didn't know what to do, and I didn't know whether, damned if I did and damned if I don't. And suddenly I gave up and realized I didn't have an answer. But that was, the surrender of it was everything. Because when I surrendered, because I didn't know what to do, that very surrender itself made Burt disappear. And there was this feeling of nothingness, emptiness. But this emptiness is not empty. It is a fullness, really, because everything comes from it. And in that emptiness, fullness, because the two opposites are really one, there is no duality, okay? I began to understand things I never understood before. I am a human being playing the human role of Burt. Oh, I still forget it at times, yes. And that's when I don't feel too good. But it's so easy for me to remember because I experienced it. And even though experience comes and goes, it might not be stable for a while. But when it does become more and more stable, then we find a peace and joy and love and fullness. That not only that, but life takes care of you. Okay, so now we go into the next question, and I'll make it very briefly. So what is the mystery called you? The mystery is this, that you are a human being. Human, there are 7 billion of them in this world of ours. Not to mention the whole universe, but well, let's take up just this world. And there's only one being with all these billions of humans. And this one being happens to be you. The mind can't understand it, and don't even try. This is a mystery. But whatever you do, wherever you go, there you are. You're always here, always now. If you think about the future, while you're thinking about the future, it is still now, because there is no future. When you think about the past, at that moment you're thinking about the past, you're still now thinking about the past. But you do not realize that you go off on a tangent, and that thinking, because you believe it, affects you physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. So until you see that you itself is the knower, because you are pure awareness, and that pure awareness came to consciousness to create the body out of itself. The senses of hearing, touching, seeing, feeling, they're all in consciousness. They appear in the body as a mouth, as ears, as nose, as eyes. But they're only instrument. But you are everything. This appearance is memory, is consciousness. And you are the awareness that makes it all possible. And this complete awareness is consciousness with a capital C. Everything is consciousness. Everything is consciousness. And here's another thing, and this is also the mystery. You might say, where is the consciousness? Is it in my center? No. You don't have a center. There is no center. Why? Because there is only consciousness. Consciousness itself is it. It is the totality, the wholeness itself, and you are it. How? Why? There's no way that the mind can understand, but there is a way that you can feel it and know it. The moment will come when you want to know the truth more than anything, is that it will just, almost like an explosion, and you just know. And the moment you come to know, it will never be taken away. Oh, like in my case, there are times when I forget. And but then it's a moment of awareness. I become aware of who I am. I am pure being, awareness itself, playing the role of Burt. And the moment it comes to me, that very moment itself, everything dissolves. Beliefs, ideas, fears, anxieties, future, past, all falls away. So now we go into the next question. The question is there only being then? Yes. There is only being, there is nothing else but being. There has never been anything else but being. Being is everything. If you think you're acting on your own, that's one big delusion. It is being living you. And being is not inside you. You, as a body, are inside it. Feel it, please. Don't try to figure it out. Don't try to think about it. You are it. Once you begin to understand this, everything starts to become clear. All the questions you've had will fall away. Any problems that you might have will be cleared almost instantly through awareness. Let's take the next question. Is suffering the same as seeking? Suffering and seeking, are they the same thing? You'll find that the only time you suffer is when you are seeking yourself. So the human is always seeking the being. The being is security. There is no security in the world. Absolutely none. Oh, you try to get $1 million, or you try to have a marriage, good relationship and all that, that makes you feel good temporarily, but the feeling that something is lacking will always be there until you find who and what you are. So you're seeking yourself because the being that you are is love. It is security. And the real control, the decider, the one that makes all the decisions and all choices, are all coming from being. Being is living you. And when you start trusting it, oh, there are no words. And yet it's very simple. It's very simple. You can actually begin to feel it right now, even after you listen to this. And that's how the suffering will stop. But as long as you are seeking the being, then you're doing it 3 ways. You're seeking it through safety, because you're always feeling unsafe. I cannot trust people. I cannot trust anybody. I can't even trust myself. I don't know what I was sure. You can give it up. Because when you start to feel that you are being, that's all you need to trust. It is living you. Another one is we're always seeking approval, which means we are seeking love, appreciation, feeling connected, feeling wanted, needed. And also seeking control. You know, that's a big one. We think we are in control, even our choices. If truth is true, if being is true, then who's going to be choosing? If the truth is true, you have no choice but to follow truth. And the truth is the being that you are. The next question is, who is the knower in you? Did you know that the moment you realize you are the being, you stop thinking so much, you stop trying to figure things out, you stop trying to understand? There's nothing to understand. Just be. Now you might say, but how do I get to know? Quiet the mind. Take a few deep breaths, become very still. And the first thing, become aware that you exist. And who is it that is existing? Who is this you? You won't have an answer. You won't know. But that's beautiful, that's wonderful. Because the more you admit you don't know, the more you begin to see the mystery and the beauty of it all. Because the knower is the highest intelligence. And then comes the knowing. And the knowing is not something that you know like knowledge, like words in a book. It comes as a knowing beyond a shadow of a doubt. How can it be any other way? It is natural, it is normal. I know I am. Who and what? Who cares? I know I am. And you trust it, and you live it, and you know it. And then the final question, number 9. Is this all I need? Just awareness? Oh, my dear friend, yes. That's all you need. That's all you need. Just be aware. And you're always aware. You're aware of this video now. You're aware of Burt talking. You're aware of your room. You're aware of who's around you. You're aware of the environment. You're aware of the weather if you're outside. You're aware of everything that's going on. Because awareness is complete. And you are that awareness. So when you feel negative, feel frightened, start believing in your own thoughts, distrusting, skeptical, uncertain, feel discomfort, in other words, stop for a moment and be aware of this feeling. And as you recall that you are a living presence, you are being lived, as you recall that feeling, that knowing that you are this, that very knowing, and that's all you do. You don't do anything else, just put to back. It only takes a few seconds of recollecting that you are awareness itself, pure awareness itself, which is the grandeur, which is everything. This illusory world all came from awareness. And it's all consciousness itself. All of it is consciousness. There is nothing that is not consciousness. And consciousness is the supreme intelligence of life. And you are that. It is living you. So that is the fulfillment of your being. Once you come to this point of allowing this to work through you, I am being lived by divine, infinite, birthless intelligence, without beginning or end. I am eternal and immortal being. I am. Thank you.